Hello, hello. Uh, Freezing at the moment. I have my Mickey mini sweatshirt on and my Rainbow Bright blanket around me. No act of kindness goes unpunished. That is so true. Uh, so I left my elementary school, which I get off at 3, and my bus home usually comes at 4. So I have time. So usually I have like some coffee and wait a half hour, 40 minutes in the teacher's room, and then I head off to the bus. Well, today I wanted to head in the other direction, so I left work right on time, got on the bus. Next stop, a fellow interactor, ALT, who he works at my elementary school, but he's there like every other month, one day every other month. So he gets on the bus and they're all like, "Hey, we never see you." And I'm like, "I know, slightly still avoiding social situations and also broke." So we start talking and he tells me he found this bag at the bus stop. Someone forgot it and he is rushing off to get quick dinner at Lawson's and then heading on the hopefully making the train and heading off to his business class. So he's like, "Oh yeah, I was gonna drop this off." So I said, "Well, do they need to know where you found it? Because I can drop it off for you. I'm just like slowly going home. I was just going to Daiso there at Hitachi Station to get a cheese grater because I want to make tacos this weekend. So you need a great cheese for that." So he said, "Oh, I don't think so." So I said, "I'll take it. No problem. You're rushing off to work and running, on a tight time schedule. I'm just, whatever." So I take it and he runs off. And I can feel in the bag. I'm not going to open this bag. But I can feel in the bag that all that's in it is a wallet. I'm like, well, at least it's a wallet. There should be an ID in it and should be easy enough to find the person. So I go to the police box and the guy I tell him in Japanese and everything, "I found this at a bus stop and I just got here and I'm turning it in." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So he opens up the bag and he opens up the wallet. And he takes out the money in the wallet, the cash cards, the ATM cards in the wallet. And he starts counting everything, even the coins in the coin section of the wallet. And he's writing it down on a piece of paper. There are 10 1,000 yen notes. There is one 500 yen coin. He's meticulously counting them. And he's counting them to me as if like I'm a witness or something. And I don't know how this whole process works. So I'm like, "Hi, hi, hi." And he's like, "Oh, 500 yen. Oh, only one. Desu ne." I'm like, "Hi, hi." So this goes on, and then he asks me, "Oh, jikan daijoubu?" Like, "Time okay?" I'm like, yeah, yeah, whatever. I'm kind of curious how this all turns out." So he has me sit down. Like, "Oh, this is gonna take a while." "That you're offering me a seat. Okay." So, he continues to do that. Then he starts filling in, getting the much needed information from me. What time did I find it? I guesstimated like 5 minutes after I got on the bus, since that's probably when we got to the next bus station and the coworker got on. And then he said, "Where?" I'm like, "Oh, so." So he pulls out books and maps of the area and he's like, "Was it here?" And I'm like, "No, it wasn't there." "Okay, I started at the school. Let's find my elementary school, and this is the way I walked." And there's a 7-Eleven, I think is where he got on. So I'm still acting like, "Oh, I'm the one that found it." So I ended up finding a bus stop near the 7-Eleven. So I'm like, okay, it's that one. Might be this one before, but no, I think it's this one. So that gets taken care of. And then we get even more. He wants my information, my address, my name, my phone number. So he calls his superior too after he gets my information. And it sounded like he was saying, well, this is kind of a more technical part. I have a foreigner here. She is really good with Japanese and she understands me, but I don't know, how do we handle this? And he's like, oh, okay, English. So I get handed the phone thinking I'm going to have someone who speaks English tell me whatever the next thing is. So I go, hello? No, konnichiwa. Okay, we're still doing this in Japanese, okay? The guy on the phone explains to me that there is a custom. I don't know how have to this is, like a written rule, right? But basically, someone who turns something in, when someone comes and collects it, that person who comes and collects it has a right or a option to get the information of the person who turned it in so they can send them a thank you and a thank you gift, a thank you letter. They get their phone number, they can call and just say thank you. Because there was two different things. There was a thank you gift of some kind and also a just can they contact you, like, to say thank you. And on both of them I said, I'm not against it, but I don't need it. So I just said, like, no, I don't need a gift for turning it in. I don't need someone awkwardly calling me and trying to speak English or Japanese on my end. No. I'm like, this is fine. And then they explained to me that if this is unclaimed for a certain amount of time, I think it was like, what, a month, this would become mine, so therefore they will call me and I can have it. And I'm like, that wasn't even a thought in my mind, that like it was over like almost over $100 in there. I don't know. I don't care. So I'm like, okay, but thankfully there were cash cards in it, so it should be easy enough to find the person. And so I asked, like, should it be easy to find them? And he said, well, it actually has to go to the police box in the area of where it was found. So hopefully I didn't screw anything up doing the wrong bus stop. But then that place should contact the bank and then you can get the information from there. So that all took an hour. An hour to take care of all of this, and I was just doing a favor for someone who was short on time. I'm just like, ah. It's an interesting experience. The only other time I had to go to a police box, I had someone from the university with me because I had lost my foreigner card, my gaijin card. And so you have to actually go to the police and file a whole thing so you can get a new one. So that was the only time. So it was kind of interesting. They took down all this information, documented everything, like even the point cards that were in the wallet, documented everything. It's very interesting. And this is a long video. I am sorry, but that's what happened today. So, not to make it any longer, until next time. Ja.